of these different style plays. Brokenblade.
He's taunting him, trying to give him a little bit of a reminder here. And both reminders.
He's like, yeah, this was the matchup. You remember.
Y'all want to talk about some mind games?
Abi bir dakika, TSM Team Liquid'e karşı kazanmış mıydı?
They're going to go ahead and answer support with support. They're saying, all right, Core JJ is going to be on Tom Kench. We'll put Smoothie on the
Nasıl bir yem yaptı gördünüz mü de?
Powerful pick. We've seen Smoothie be a real playmaker and facilitator here in the bottom lane so far this split. Not surprised to see
Bak
him on the
12'ye 5, 14'e 3.
All.
Bu maçı kazanırsalar birinci bitirme şeyleri var, şansları var.
He has been very, very good on the content.
Broken Jackson'ı tokatlamış ya, selamünaleyküm Impact dedi.
Pretty much immaculate. He's always at the right place at the right time to protect his carries. But the way he moves around the map and how effective he makes the Abyssal Voyage look really does speak a lot to how good Core JJ is. And it's going to be paired up alongside the Varus. A lot of laning power, honestly, with this Varus. Certainly, you don't want to get into any sort of all-in situation early on against the Lucian Braum, where they will have a lot of early power, but this is a lane that you can poke and you can actually kind of hold your own in those early stages. Varus certainly is not a pushover.
Orada mesela Lissandra'yı da alabilirlerdi first pick. Ama banlamışlar.
To that second half of the draft, we've already saw both teams' bans hit those pools pretty hard, and Liquid is okay with more of those bans coming in.
Also worth
Braum solo ne ya? Braum solo güzel.
Split here for double lift. He's bringing that out in the final game.
Braum solo ne ya?
TSM.
Jungle Lucian.
Talking about how he's always, in his mind fighting this shadow boxing with TSM. Knowing that they're going to be
bak bu flex pick.
He really has to respect.
Bu Akali flex pick. Bu güzel bu arada. Çünkü tapta da oynuyorlar.
Brokenblade top. We don't know yet.
Whoever it's for, TSM is saying, I hope that Tom Kench is hungry because if
Braum solo değil, swap aptallar. Mesela bunu diyen kişi aslında aptal oluyor.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful. Akali from ahead especially has incredible assassination potential. And we know that Brokenblade certainly had the edge in what is the carry versus carry matchup the first time around.
Durduk yere
Would not
insanlar
be shocked
atladı
to see
işte.
that going up to the top side, but Bjergsen also does have a really strong Akali, though he has not
Sıralama
played
kesinleşti mi?
it in this split. It's only Brokenblade with the one play so far in the spring split.
Well, when you talk about carry versus carry in the top lane, the two people you're comparing are a man literally known and defined by his very high-level tank play versus a guy named after Riven. There's one of these I expect to win a carry matchup.
That's true,
if both sides are a carry.
But Impact does have a world's winning Jack skin, so the man can play.
You got me with the skin, with the bonk, bonk, bonk noise of hitting him with the trophy. But looking at the bans now as we're going through, it's more solo lane focus.
Taşıyıcı matchup'ta şeyin kazanacağını söylüyorlar. Brokenblade'in.
TSM's gonna say, all right, no LeBlanc, no Gangplank. Team Liquid will target the jungle pool and keep Acadian away from that big team fighter in the Sejuani, and we'll see what they want to do for their final one here.
Jarvan, we are expecting to go to Smithy, but Impact also does have a play. They both have one play apiece.
Alporovic.
Split on the champion, so certainly is some potential for it to go
Sablık
up
gelsin öpücük
The
atar.
only man disappointed when Skarner is banned out, casting alongside me today.
Come on, man, I'm sad they're banned.
No Syndrome, Skarner, nuts.
Hoş geldin Sablık.
Maybe we'll see something like Lee Sin and Zed, how boring.
Alporovic abone oldu.
This is unacceptable levels of play from someone who's supposed to be my friend. We are allies here.
Ya.
The TSM locks in the Kindred, who will do a wonderful job of protecting her own.
Benden niye öpücük istersin mesela?
Certainly has been rising in priority. We've been seeing it pop up more and more.
Attım
I've been
öpücük.
of the opinion that this pick has been very strong ever since some of the marksman item rework. PD can be very strong for early dueling on this champion. Going warrior PD, even Devourer, Bloodraiser rather PD can be very strong.
Ben heyecanlı izliyorum. Ben mi yiyeyim?
It is going to deny a lot of some of those
Çok
kind of
iğrençti
one-shot
be.
potentials that dive in, try to just combo down someone. So, if they are worried about a potential sort of all-in dive style composition when the Jarvan was shown, Kindred can be a decent answer to that, and Kindred can also stand up to most early matchups. If this is a jungle Jarvan, if you can actually queue it to the
Ben
side
şu an mid lane'i merak
flag
ediyorum.
drag, you can win those duels. So Kindred is no slouch early either, and does give you more scaling in that late game too.
Looks like the jungle Jarvan is going to be the choice here. As the Vladimir locked in, along with the Orianna, means Vlad will be top. It'll be impact on that one, so we will see him on a carry champion this time around,
şeye doğru
and Jensen
attım
will be on the Ori.
mikrofona doğru.
Yeah, and it'll be the first
Mid lane belli olmadığı için direkt Orianna'la aldılar.
So certainly, stepping away from some of what we have seen
Bence Akali tapa yollarlar ya. Ama Vlad, ooo.
This is very unlikely. I'm just letting y'all know.
No.
See? Now you set yourselves up for disappointment. I'm just trying to shield you from yourselves.
I hate to see it happen.
But TSM has this was the comp that we saw Cloud9.
Bu arada top lane matchup'ı bayağı zevkli olacak.
Last year, the Kindred and Zillion
Ama
combination. This is infuriating to play against
pek bir işe yaramıyor. Çünkü iki takımda da alan Kindred güzel ama Zillion pek bir işe yaramıyor. Alan hasarları var ya.
Being a Kindred player and playing with Zillion is not only do you have the second revive,
Sen Sekiro oynamayacak mısın? Yok.
Zillion has a very easy
Onlar
time to
şey,
set up bombs if the opposing team
neydi
tries to
adı?
run into
Sponsorlu
that
ya.
kind of nullifying zone in your ultimate. You
Bana
can drop
sponsor
bombs right
olmadılar.
as that is expiring, hit the stun, guarantee that you will be bursting them down before they can get out of there.
Also worth noting, on the side of Team Liquid, there are no displacements other than the Orianna Shockwave to throw people out of Kindred's ultimate. So TSM will be able to really dig in their feet and take positioning on that Lamb's Respite.
A lot of that then comes down to, can you actually kill the Kindred off before you can get the ultimate down?
Right.
Or can you be in such a winning position that it's you setting up your Shockwave coming out of that ultimate, or it's you with Vladimir dropping his ultimate and timing his damage to land right after that too. It is going to be carry versus carry in the top lane. Last time it certainly was Brokenblade getting the better of Impact. You know Impact wants to prove that he can compete.
And you know Team Liquid wants to prove that this slump is not here to last for playoffs.
Ki bu maç önemli.
Team Liquid and TSM will take to Summoner's Rift for the second time here this split.
TL çok iyi ama dolar daha iyi.
Their first place season on a high note. TSM looking to be the only team to finish this split with a winning record over Team Liquid.
Claiming that 2-0, securing yourself as such a threat going into playoffs. Certainly things that TSM is hungry for here, and TL do not want to end the season on a bad note.
And as everyone rushes out of the base for the level 1, we are going to check in with Avali, who's got a sideline report with Dodo.
Thanks, Flowers. Dodo, rough last couple of games for Team Liquid. What's really going on with the team right now, and how are they feeling coming into today's game?
There's nothing too much serious going on. I think we're still confident that we are a strong team. I mean, we've been trying out a lot of different picks, been focusing on different styles, but obviously we are still making mistakes. So we're focused on trying to get better still. I don't think we're perfect yet, but we're not too worried. We're still confident.
Önemli yerleri
and I hope we can show that today.
Dodo, thank you and best of luck to you and the team. Back to you guys.
Diyor ki son maçlar kötü geçti, takım içinde neler oluyor falan filan, hani ne etki ediyor buna. Bir şey etki etmiyor. Çalışıyoruz, çok kazanıyoruz. Güzel her şey. Vallahi erkeği dinlemedim, biliyor musunuz? Çete bakıyordum. Ama kadın bu soruyu sordu. Chat niye canlandı?
Look at the keystones on two different champions. Double lift with the lethal tempo means you aren't going to see poke Varus. This is going to be more of the auto attack base, like we're going to see crit on hit on this guy. And if you look over at Brokenblade, fleet footwork here for the Akali. As some stats come up on the side of your screen, you can see really, really promising numbers for both the Orianna of Jensen and the Zillion of Bjergsen. 75% and higher win rates for both. It's something higher than 75. I don't know what the math is. I'm not a calculator.
Never do math on broadcast. That's the rule.
It's a lot. Yeah, we don't do math on broadcast. We only say the stuff we know, and I know it's higher than 75. It's just one of those other numbers up there.
There you go.
But Team Liquid,
these are true statements, yes.
We've already said these guys have locked in first place for themselves going into the playoffs. They have secured the playoff bye. This is a team that has looked so far and away from everyone else.
Broken dediğinde çevir kanka. Tamam, Broken dediğinde çevireceğim.
Losing to Echo Fox that nobody thought they would lose to, as well as also dropping these other games towards the end. A lot of people are surprised. And again, even though your playoff spot is not going to be impacted by whether or not you win or lose this game, you would love to end this one on a win, especially against one of the other favorite teams going into playoffs.
Yeah, you definitely do. And the expectations are just so high for this TL roster, given that they won back-to-back championships last year and then upgraded the roster. The expectations is that you win again, right? You know, Jensen came to TL to win. He has not won a championship in North America despite making the World Semifinals last year. He really wants that championship, and that was, I think, a big motivator for coming to TL.
Right. If this is a team that you know you can pop off with, this veteran roster with guys like Doublelift and Smithy and Impact and Core JJ, who has a world championship of his own under his belt.
They got 2 world champions on TL.
Yeah, you really want to see this team succeed, because the question is, if you can't succeed with this roster, well, how can you? This is stacked, and Team Liquid fans are expecting this team to pop off. They're expecting this team to finish nothing less than at the top.
And you've got to say that's been the expectation for TSM for so many years.
Az mı açayım biraz?
And last year, really the first time that they kind of failed to match up to those expectations. First time they missed out on the finals. First time, you know, that they didn't go to Worlds, right? These are big firsts for TSM, and now back this year, seeing this team in form, it is such a
Adamlar konuşuyor diye ben konuşmuyorum pek.
And so I think heartening for the TSM fans to see that they are competing again at that top. It is important for them to be winning those games and winning those championships, if not at least competing for them.
And not just for the fans, I mean for the players too. You hold those expectations of yourself. When you're Bjergsen and you're going to the finals year after year after year after year, and then all of a sudden you don't go in back-to-back splits, that's got to light a fire under you to get back in there and take your spot.
I mean, and by the way, Doublelift now, after last year, tied Bjergsen for the most trophies in the league. These guys are both sitting on, I believe, 5 apiece. If you would love to maintain that record if you are Bjergsen, this is a guy with a number of MVP titles who has been known for so long as the best player in the NALCS. And I feel like over the last year is the first time that we have really heard those conversations being challenged and people bringing up Doublelift's name more and more and saying, hey, what about Doublelift? He has won as many championships. He has now won an MVP. He has won on multiple different teams.
Jensen getting himself back there as Acadian wanted to show up in the mid lane, see if maybe he could help Bjergsen put a little bit of damage down, but Jensen getting himself away is just fine. Finding Acadian here in the top part of the river now.
Ben de yorum
Getting
yapayım.
the
Güzel
EQ
söyledin
combo
bu arada.
down, continuing the chase.
Onu
Acadian
kesemeyecek.
wants to get away. Blast Cone's going to be there and available. I think Smithy will not go further past this one. Flash blown on
Urf
both
olsaydı mesela
junglers.
Jarvan keserdi.
Acadian taken very low. You mentioned in Champion Select if the Kindred can hop out of the way of that combo from the
kere daha
jump,
iyi
he can win the
kesildi.
fight, but when he comes at you from the bush, there's no way to react.
Yeah, very, very difficult to be able
Kodur
to
niye
avoid
dondurmadı?
that, if not impossible. And Acadian does get out with a trade of flashes, so not too bad for him. He will lose a little bit of priority for now, but certainly having that blast cone there was a blessing to be able to get out safely.
Farm pretty even here all the way across the board. You can see minor CS discrepancies from lane to lane, but Impact and Brokenblade, these are 2 guys to keep your eyes on as the game goes on. We already talked about how Brokenblade was the better carry the first time they fought. His Jax absolutely smashed the Yorick from Impact, but both these champions are going to be able to do plenty as the game goes on, and now they're getting into the 1 versus 1 here. Level 6 for Impact before Brokenblade's able to get his. Brokenblade still stealthing around in that shroud, but not
Şeyden bahsediyor.
You are going to be a little bit
İlk
vulnerable
oynadığında
here, though, as
taşıcı
Impact is
rolünde
pushing up.
Brokenblade
The wave is
üstünden
pushing towards
geçmişti.
Brokenblade. You are now down your ultimate.
Yeah.
And Brokenblade has his available, so you are being
Broken
pushed
ultisi var,
into this
senin
vulnerable
yok.
position. And despite the fact that Brokenblade played an incredible game last time on the Jax, it wasn't just about him. Acadian got involved. Acadian was really strong in helping him get that lead too, bullying Smithy around, smoothing
Jax güzel oynamasına rağmen Acadian yardım etti falan filan diyor.
That Brokenblade then made good on. And we'll see if Brokenblade can get that solo advantage here himself, as he would really love to continue to prove himself further against some of these veteran players.
I'm talking about Acadian.
Bir şey diyor, bakalım bu sefer tek başına öne geçebilecek mi?
As the game progresses, and right now Acadian is on that
Bir de
first
şey
stack.
muamelesi yapıyorlar.
Generally by the time you
Rookie
get
yani
around
yeni
the
oyuncu
20 minute
muamelesi.
mark and you start seeing
Diğer
more
tecrübeli oyunculara karşı
large
tek başına
scale
öne
team fights,
geçebilecek
you wanna see the
mi? Yardım
Kindred
alıyor ya.
have 4, so he has the bonus range and can be more effective. So as this game goes on, we'll track whether or not Acadian's able to make that happen, or whether Team Liquid can keep him off of those critical resources.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, it just gives you a lot more range, right? So it's giving you up to essentially Varus range once you do hit that 4 mark. So it's a lot easier to actually have access to some of these big threats, right? You have that additional safety. You can actually trade autos with someone like a Varus instead of taking multiple autos perhaps before you're able to get involved. And it does allow you to be much more consistently powerful in those team fights.
Brokenblade finding quite a lot of damage down onto Impact there, notably not jumping back in with the E. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you're laning against Vlad and the red bar starts to fill up, stay away. Yeah, exactly. It's traffic light rule. Red means stop. Do not go anywhere near this dude. As Smithy will hand off the blue buff over to Jensen here.
Ekiden okey bence, böyle yardımcı rolünde oynuyor diyorum ya. Hani taşıyıcı rolünde oynamasına gerek yok adamın. Deneyince de sıçıyor bence. Direkt yardımcı support olarak oynasın. Zaten taşıyıcılarım var yani takımda. Broken falan var. Lavina 5'te bağış atmış.
Seni seviyorum Torucuğum.
Teşekkür ederim. Lavinacığım. Bağışın için bir de beni sevdiğin için.
It a lot more difficult for Smithy to actually gank you.
Teşekkürler.
If you want to EQ over the wall, you're going to be straight onto a ward, and that's going to give you that advanced time to actually get away.
Kim hata yapıyor? O hata yapıyor ama taşırken yapıyor işte. Sadece sportif oynaması lazım bence. Burada Broken kesecek birazdan.
To stop the enemy jungle's path from being as effective is very important if you ever have the opportunity to take 10 seconds to clear him away, as Xmithie has now made his way onto the Drake.
Yep, and he can do this because they actually spotted out these wards, right? They spotted out the Kindred on the ward.
Kankası bende sıçıcı rolde oynuyor.
Try to trade for some pressure. Impact though, showing a lot of respect, backing off. And Acadian will be gifted this mark. It's on the Gromp. He's on that side of the map, so we'll be able to grab a second here. And we'll see if they want to try to go for a dive. Remember, they have Kindred ult.
This is Vladimir that you're diving, though. Hemo Plague going to be dropped down there. Goes into the pool, finds a lot of damage onto Acadian. Lambs, the spike comes
out. Çarptı mı?
Impact cannot get in there in time. It's first blood over to TSM.
Very well played by the TSM duo there. Impact, his pool was not lasting long enough to be able to actually wait out the E, so you saw Brokenblade reactivate that, dive back in. Acadian's holding the turret aggro with his ultimate down. They execute a fantastic dive here. And this is really well done.
Yani
Somewhat
ayrı
reminiscent
bitirme
of what
şeyin
happened
yok.
last time that they did run into each other. So you can see that mark on Impact's head. That is telling you how long that shuriken flip is available for. Straight in, finishes off the kill. Easily escapes. Very well executed, and that meant
Eğer şeyde marklasaydı, Blood'ı marklasaydı bayağı şey olacaktı.
Only way he could have kept himself alive there was trying to flash into the Lamb's respite. Yeah. That is a very high risk play because there's still a very good chance that you die anyway. And then you're just down a summoner spell for that return gank from Acadian. So Impact ends up going down. And the CS discrepancy is just disgusting at this point in the
Baksana top lane'e.
I mean, it's going to feel so bad. Anytime you're getting dove on a stacked wave, you feel so terrible as a top laner because, you know, you're losing all of that CS and experience guaranteed. Then you don't even have your TP. So another wave got pushed in. You lose that as well. You know, you're now going to be walking back to lane against a Gunblade Volley who's going to be essentially immune to a lot of your poke with all that healing. So certainly Impact is now in dire straits in this top lane. We'll see how he can hang on, but TSM punishes topside.
And I've mentioned this before. Vladimir often does like to go for the
tek olayı böyle alt sustain etmekti. Ama şimdi hem Rün'den hem de şey var. Neydi adı? Hex'te kılıcı var. Şu an şey de yapamaz yani.
Kinch almost stacking up the Braum passive. There you go. The stun comes through. The damage goes out. TSM makes it a 2-for-0 game. Team Liquid getting themselves one on the backside now. As Xmithie finds his way into the fight, but does not want to go for a Cataclysm on Desven. Summoner spell still available for the TSM AD carry.
Pretty good trade kill, though, for TL. In the 2v3, they do trade supports. And Doublelift still stays alive to be able to collect that farm. And on the top side, Brokenblade is looking to press his advantage, trying to bully this Vladimir. And goes Smithy, though.
Smithy trying to force the fight out on Desven.
Neden bu Jarvan o Lucian'ı kesemedi bilen var mı?
That means no kill to be found.
Critically though, they get the flash off of Lucian, so he's going to be that much
çünkü
more vulnerable.
kompetitif oynuyorlar ve Jarvan eşyasına bak.
That goes down to Bjergsen on the roam here from the Orianna. So here this is one more time, 3-man bot. CoreJJ looking to ward, but does not see the TSM members coming through. Guardian as well as the Grey Health and a really well-timed stopwatch by a lot of time. He gets the Ignite out on Smoothie before he goes down, and Doublelift is able to get that finishing damage in so the Ignite can take him out. Pretty well played from TL, and it's Impact being pushed back to base once more. He is now down 35 CS. It's going to be even worse. More plates falling as well. Impact falling extremely behind in this match.
2 level geride.
Look at how healthy Brokenblade is. It's not like these fights are even close. No. Brokenblade, partially thanks to Fleet.
Ben fightları merak ediyorum. Fightlar da aşırı önemli.
The Gunblade and he heals up off of every bit of damage he does. is not under any sort of threat.
Yeah, it's really a bad feeling when you fall behind these sort of sustained tank wars, right? You know, Vladimir and Akali are trying to hit the threshold where you're dealing so much damage that your opponent can no longer stay around to heal that up. And when one of these people who are both trying to do the same thing gets massively ahead, all of a sudden they have an enormous advantage because it's Vlad who can't even get access to the wave to heal up. Brokenblade has free reign here.
Vladimir is getting Vladimired. This is normally what other champions experience against him when he hits level 9. Now he is level 9, and Brokenblade is still fully in control here, constantly throwing out the 5-point strike to farm up the minions.
Before coming up though, and there is no shroud available.
Brokenblade getting himself
Bak bak nasıl bağırıyor değil mi?
Acadian's also shadowing this, so if it does turn into a 2 versus 1, it'll quickly go 2v2 with buying some time there from the shroud. Double frog and lethal tempo in the bottom side, finding a couple auto attacks down onto Smoothie. Piercing arrow grabs some bonus damage off the back end.
Yeah, it does get tough for Smithy because I feel like that's a pretty doomed 2v2 as well. When your Vladimir is pretty far behind and you're a tank Jarvan going up against Kindred who already has that completed item. Yeah. You know, as long as they actually don't botch the usage of the Kindred ultimate, you can even save the Akali execute for after the Kindred ultimate expires and get a guaranteed kill there. So I definitely think TSM should have priority in that 2v2 top side, but they do still have to worry about the team fight from TL. J4 going in with a shockwave on the back of Orianna. And Jensen is one of the guys
Bu arada Zven bence çok kötü ya.
Incredible shockwaves.
Brokenblade has now found his way onto Impact. Good pull there from Impact to dodge away from the E. Brokenblade still going to chase after this one though. Doesn't have enough burst left in the kit. And
İki ulti de hasar vurmadı.
I mean, look at how defensive Impact has to play that. He has to immediately drop the ultimate and try to proc his phase rush.
Ama sorun yok mesela. Belki şey için atmıştır yani.
Full hasar için. Acadian gets free reign to start up the Rift Herald. Impact goes back to base. You can see that Bjergsen is pushing in. Smithy is using this time to try to grab another
İşte bundan bahsediyorum. Top lane'e taşıyıcı şampiyon alıyorlar. Bir de top lane etrafında oynuyorlar. Bak Acadian sabahtan tapta.
Now bottom side, here comes Zillion. Team Liquid in some trouble. Core JJ trying to get Double Lift out of trouble, but here comes the damage. Can they find him? The calling goes through. Double Lift gets himself away, but not quite.
Flash atacağı yere attı, gördünüz mü?
Core JJ will be number 2s, then grabs that kill, and it's 2-0 TSM.
Double Lift was a couple seconds away from the heal being back up, just barely didn't have it. And Bjergsen, it looks like he predicted the flash with that bomb, throwing it where Double Lift would have to flash to try to escape. He catches him and knocks him down, and TSM starting to really take full control over this one.
With the leads they've got through the kills and the farm and the fact that they got the turret first blood, this team is now 3,000 gold ahead, and it's letting them make plays like these.
Yep, in they go. TSM getting very aggressive. Nice early chunk onto Double Lift, and now watch where Bjergsen throws the bomb. He waits and throws it to where Double Lift has to flash to try to get out. That is 100%.
Ulti falan da geliyor böyle canını azaltmak için. Mesela hem Ignite geliyor Smoothie'den, hem ulti geliyor Zven'den. Hani tam böyle ölsün diye. Onlar da okey, güzel yani.
He makes the plays when they matter. He comes in clutch and pulls things off, predicting exactly where Double Lift is going to move. Giving that first death, grabbing his own first kill. And Bjergsen has had some incredible performances on the Zillion before. This game looking like it might be yet another one of those, as Impact is just relegated to sitting back and watching Brokenblade farm.
Yeah, Brokenblade is working quickly towards that Morello Nomicon. I think a really smart buy against the Vladimir here. When you hit that 2-item power spike, maybe the ultimate healing isn't even enough to keep Impact alive and an all-in from full health. You know, that gets very, very dangerous, so we'll see where Impact wants to go with his build. It's already fairly
defensive. Vlad Akali matchup'ı ne oluyor? Vlad kazanıyor biliyor musun?
He's going to be pushed very far back on that power curve.
Ya büyü direnci falan alırsa.
You want that late game Vladimir, but it's feeling like a bit of a pipe dream at this point.
His 17 minutes build is a potion, a book, a Doran's item, 2 CDR garage sale pieces, and shoes. This is not a Vladimir that even has a single item fully completed. You see this guy TPing into a fight. Normally a Vladimir TP strikes terror into the hearts of men, and this one just makes you giggle a bit. The man's not going to have any impact for a very long time.
Eşyalarını falan şey yaptı. O dakika 17'de bir Vlad'ın eşyası böyle olmaması lazım. Bir tane bile eşya bitirememiş dedi. Normalde Vlad TP atarsa falan herkes korkar diye bu adam TP attı şu an yiyecekler falan diyor yani.
Bjergsen with the piercing arrow, if that can hit on multiple members, so they certainly are looking for something like that. But it's going to be a tough road. And TSM now taking their advantage from the top side of the map where they grab the Rift Herald straight into mid lane, looking for this turret.
Shelly summoned up, bombs thrown down to zone Team Liquid away. But Shelly will be killed before she's able to guarantee the turret being taken.
K'da değil,
Team
2.5K.
Liquid hold the line there. Remember, they also do have the advantage in this game of having 2 out of 2 elemental drakes so far. That next one not spawning for about another 100 seconds. And we'll likely see TSM start to fight for those now that Rift Herald's not available anymore. There's not as much to fight for elsewhere on the map. And Doublelift will continue trying to farm up here in this bottom side. Blade of the Ruined King done for both AD carries. And considering this isn't the on-hit Varus, this is going to be the Varus that starts off. Or this is the poke Varus that starts off with the on-hit with Blade of the Ruined King.
sayıyor musun solo'dayken?
Hurricane, Infinity Edge, yada
Top lane
yada.
diyorsan
It will be very, very powerful in team fights later on. It just has to get there.
As long as you can actually get the time to auto, right? You know, potentially you're going to have an Akali who's super fed, diving in on you with a zillion bomb on her head.
Bak şimdi mesela
that is
biraz
gonna detonate
kaybetmeye
to
başladı.
another couple hundred damage. That is really, really frightening and very difficult
Morlem
to
konu
survive.
bitmesi lazım.
When Doublelift has no MR whatsoever, you know, it's going to be up mostly to Core JJ to really use a perfectly timed Devour and keep him safe.
I like how you use a couple hundred damage, and at this point, with having pretty much 2 items, Bjergsen's bombs are already doing 500 damage each, so that's a 1k burst. If you get hit by both of them, that is scary.
Yeah, and certainly reduced by the magic resist, you know, maybe more like 600 or something around there, but it's a lot of damage. It hurts. When you are this marksman who's only sitting at 1200 health, you know, that plus an Akali means you're instantly dead, right? You know, don't worry about that Lucian, don't worry about, you know, even this Kindred. That'll be enough in and of itself, and you could have Brokenblade now with the Morellonomicon. Vladimir is in a no-fun zone.
Already got his proto belt at least. He's got an item. That's pretty good. Smithy will go after Brokenblade here. Gets the electrocute damage, but Brokenblade safely gets himself away. It's a 4-man push on the top side from Team Liquid to take down the tier 1 turret, but TSM will respond by taking one in kind in bottom lane.
I think this is smart though from TL. You're losing top side, you're losing bot side. Just lane swap and try to trade turrets, right? And that's basically what they're going for here. You don't want the Varus mashing up against Lucian, who's already on 2 items. You certainly don't want Impact laying against Brokenblade when he's been getting slammed. So they're going to try to trade those turrets. But Bjergsen, you know, making it an unfair trade as he grabs the mid lane outer himself.
Cadian working on picking up this Cloud Drake here for the side of TSM. As Brokenblade's looking for some damage on the double. If Core JJ gobbles him up to safety, but Brokenblade might be able to go back in. There you go. There's the Akali with the bomb. The damage goes through. Brokenblade going to be in some trouble. As the Zillion ultimate on him. They're waiting for that one to wear away. Impact does not want to pop him and allow him to get the heal. Goes in and grabs the kill. Impact's revenge finds its way.
Bjergsen erkenden atmadı ultiyi bu arada. Bjergsen trolledi.
Team Liquid is right back in the fight. Xmithy and Impact will try to disengage in the top side. Sven lets loose the calling as Xmithy heads for the hills.
Yeah, they're going to keep going, though. They're trying to take down Smithy. I think he will survive this. The Honey Fruit is there. The last tick of Ignite does not get him. A couple shutdowns going the way of Liquid. They are not going to go quietly into the night on this one. They are fighting back. And Brokenblade perhaps overreaching here, as he has done at times, going in for the 1v2. Perfectly timed Devour there from Core JJ.
Bak burada ulti gelmesi lazım. Ulti at.
Now available, takes the long ride in. Just barely can't take down Doublelift. Impact TPing in, waits out the Zillion ultimate, does get the first kill. Was a close affair though, as Smoothie gets in between and Impact has to commit the flash to do it. Then Jensen going forward onto Bjergsen, gets the shutdown there, and TSM just barely not able to trade back on Smithy, so a couple shutdowns going the way of TL. Critically on their solo lane carries.
Dediğim gibi Zill'in ultisinin erkenden gelmesi lazım.
Now Jensen at 234
ya vurmayacaklar ya da
CS
Zill'in
at
ultisini
21.5
alacaklar.
into the game. Gets a shutdown as well. He's on 2 items with Stork Boots too.
Jensen with a 300 gold lead over his lane.
Ya normalde Zill'in ultisini son saniye atarsın. Çünkü hani Zill'e karşı oynayınca adamlar hasar falan bekletir yani ulti patlansın diye. Hani o son saniye atarsın tam böyle şey yaparken. Hem baitliyorsun hem de dediğim gibi. Ama orada mesela 3 kişiye giriyordu adam.
And we need some patience and poise from TSM because they had been running this game from the start, right? And you don't want to just
şey de olabilir, Jarvan'ı görmemiş
overextend
olabilir.
and play like that. They did not have vision on where
İki
Smithy
kişiyi
was.
kesemezler falan ulti atmamı
It would
gerekiyor.
have been an incredible play if Brokenblade pulls it off, but does he need to even go for it when he's in such a powerful position already?
Brokenblade and TSM now contemplating their next move. We are 22 minutes into the game, means Baron is alive, and you can see TSM in that northern part of the river. Control wards being placed down all over the place at the entrance to the jungle of Team Liquid. TSM wants to make sure this part of the map is dark as night, and Team Liquid always has to be scratching their head, wondering, are they on it? Are they going to try to do it? How soon do we have to walk up here and face check this?
Bu şeyden sonra kapatsak mı?
Blue trinkets already. They are certainly going to have to fight for this vision very, very heavily. We'll see how well they can maintain as Smithy in the area. He is tanked, so it does make it a little bit easier, to have that additional durability and try to come in and clear this out. They're getting rid of most of TSM's pinks in the area.
Worth noting that while Smithy is going for a tanky build, it's Cinderhawk into a Kindle Gem that I can only assume is going to be
late game nasıl olacak onu merak ediyorum.
It is only health and
5v5 fight'ta Orianna ile Vlad var. Zil'in pek bir işe yaramıyor ama Kindred var. Kindred işe yarıyor.
He will melt if TSM has firing time.
He certainly will, so it's going to be
Broken'un mesela nasıl oynadığı çok önemli.
Here comes the firing time we're talking about. Brokenblade coming in from behind, drops down the shroud. Impact not able to make his way into the fight. Already going to be killed off. More damage coming through. TSM going to be routing everybody. As Core JJ is going to fall down next. The bomb strapped to his head, and he is dead. Bjergsen makes sure that one's going to be a 3-for-0 to the side of TSM.
Brokenblade atoning for his earlier sins. Gets the beautiful flank, and they could get impact here too.
What are you doing, man? 1 versus 5 is not the kind of fight you want to win.
Impact really overreaching there, trying to get something back.
Orianna fight'ta değil miydi ya? Ben Orianna'yı görmedim.
I don't think that Liquid can get here in time.
Look at all these zombie wards hanging out in the area. Team Liquid just now respawning, trying to wash the black and white off their screens as Team Liquid will take down this, well, not Team Liquid, excuse me, Team Liquid just respawning. TSM will take down this Baron. I had to talk about Team Liquid dying so much in the last fight, still had the name on my tongue, but it's TSM, the ones who are popping off. TSM, the ones who get themselves a Baron just 24 minutes in, and TSM that made this happen.
Yeah, and look at this engage. Brokenblade coming in from behind, Acadian pressuring Jensen on the side. Core JJ has a good devour, but they're just camping, waiting until Doublelift will come out. Core JJ's belly, and they knock him down so easily. Impact not able to get him
Orianna
off the fight.
fight'ın
He didn't have the flash available, so he couldn't flash over from the Raptor pit, and then this from Impact was certainly an overreach that did get him killed. TSM now going to be pressing very heavily, trying to extend this lead. They have an early Baron buff. They're already 6k ahead. And with the winning side lane, you have to feel like that's the potential to knock down at least these outers.
And I mean, you've got the Rage Blade up for Doublelift now, but look across the board. Look at Sven. He's got the Black Cleaver as well as the Rapid
Bu arada ama şeylerin Rabadonları biterse Vlad'ın bir de Orianna'nın daha da zorlaşacak.
With TSM having a 6,000 gold
Vlad'da bak, Vlad'la Orianna Rabadon bittikten sonra bayağı zor olacak
You're
fight'ta.
expecting this team to cash in, considering they still have all the tier 2s left playing.
Yeah, you really are, and there is that first of those tier 2s that's going to be going down.
Abi Power Spike deyince aklıma Dota Chess geliyor mesela. Vlad'la şeyin Orianna'nın ve Rabadon bitirmesi ve 2 level 2 star falan olmaları bilmiyorum belki yakın. Kafayı bozdum resmen.
If they do get into one of these all-in fights, and so far it's this 3-man squad, double marksman as well as Smoothie sitting up here in this lane. Very safe 3-man squad when you consider the Braum Peel plus the Kindred ultimate, and Brokenblade almost just insta-killing Doublelift there. That wasn't even his ultimate. Charge.
Ultimate's still available there from Brokenblade, but if you look at what's going on here as well for the side of TSM, I'm going to go ahead and check in with what I mentioned earlier. Acadian does have those 4 stacks on the Kindred, so he's very team fight relevant at this point in time. Has the Hex Drinker working on the Blade of the Ruined King of his own. So much on-hit damage from the side of TSM as they'll continue pushing up the top side, pushing up that mid lane as well. You can see Bjergsen going down to catch the wave and enchant it with Baron buff in the bottom lane and make it so they're pounding this triple threat into the Team Liquid base for the entirety of the last minute of Baron.
Yeah, they have cleaned out all the outers, 6 turrets to 2 now. The gold lead extending even further here for TSM, but there's still a minute remaining, as you say. They have the potential to try to crack this turret as it is getting fairly low. Jensen is going to need some sort of a miracle shockwave, it feels like, to turn around these fights, as Doublelift is having so much trouble even getting involved, and Impact needs more time to scale.
Bjergsen rotating over to the mid lane to help Brokenblade out here, but the Akali's just never under any threat. The ability to throw down that shroud and drop the aggro from everyone on the enemy team, there's just not enough damage on the side of Team Liquid to blow him up through it with AoE. TSM takes down the tier 3 in the top lane. They will continue pushing now. Inhibitor is their goal. Sven will chip away at this one with the auto attacks.
Arabalanı bitti oraya.
Sven makes sure he gets off the last 2 autos and the first inhibitor will fall.
Blood'ın bitmedi ama yine YouTube'da var o yüzden sorun yok.
Impact tries to ward him away with the tides of blood, but TSM will not stop. Hemoplague dropped, but that's just not anything for Impact. He can't find what he's looking for. He'll barely keep the turret alive.
Critically, Jensen did just complete his death cap. That's what he was back in the Fountain for. So certainly a Shockwave has game-changing potential, but it needs to be something huge from TL to now gain control back in this game as they are 8K behind. They have lost an inhibitor. TSM farming both sides of the jungle. And certainly looking like they are in full control.
Abi tilt değildir yani. Kompetitifde tilt olmak biraz zor. Yani olan salaklar var da böyle. Kompetitif maçta tilt olmak kötü yani.
We're the guys to look out for going into the playoffs, because it was always TSM, TL, C9. Everybody was talking about who's going to be the edge, who's going to have that extra bit of an advantage, and for a long time people were saying.
Mesela ben o kadar maç oynadım, sadece bir kere tilt oldum. Onda da bir tane oyuncumuz şey demişti. Umurumda değil falan demişti. O mesela bayağı tilt ediyor. Mesela biri 0-10 oynasa bile oyunda fark etmiyorsun aslında oyun oynarken. Mesela diyelim bir tane jungle var 0-10 oynuyor. Pek fazla umurumda olmuyor oyun oynarken. Ama şey olunca adam mesela konuşurken umurumda değil falan diyorsa o tilt edebilir.
Third place sixth, fourth place fifth, but then first seed gets their choice of whoever they want to play for those winners. And I guarantee you, Isaac, Team Liquid will want nothing to do if TSM wins their quarterfinal.
Definitely would not, but still a long way to go to get there. And we'll see if TL has anything to say about this game itself. Can they turn this around? Doublelift is now on 3 items. Again, I've ported out those big 3 coming through for Jensen as well. And he's working towards that Void Staff likely as the 4th.
Peki neden Gargoyle ikinci item? Şey neydi adı? Ulti atıp Gargoyle basıyorlar. O yüzden alıyorlar. Jarvan'ı şey olarak kullanıyorlar işte. İşlevsel olarak kullanıyorlar.
We'll see if TL can find the way into that fight, because if you're just trying to charge through zillion bombs, charge into Acadian who has the Lamb's Respite ready, it's going to be very difficult to make good on all of this.
Kesebilir de mesela şu an. Ama bilmiyor nerede.
Impact is a lower level than Acadian. TSM's jungler level 16. Yeah. At least 2 above everybody on the side of Team Liquid except for Jensen. That's just
Lavina, yayını kapatma canım, az daha kal.
TSM has this.
It is so rare to see junglers keep up with soul laners in experience in pro play these days. He has 210 CS.
Dota Chess oynayabilirim de. Dota Chess mi yoksa kapatayım mı yayını?
That is certainly a rare sight to see in pro play. So Acadian is monstrously strong. You have to give him that respect on the Kindred. He's another big threat from the marksman role.
Bomb ticks down on Xmithy, takes a decent chunk out of his health right there.
There's no way.
And with Xmithy taken down to half HP and Bjergsen zoning everybody away, Blue Trinket's unfortunately not coordinated there from the side of Team Liquid either. Doublelift takes 2 bombs. That's what that was. His health is 2/3 of the way gone, and Team Liquid has no chance to contest Baron number 2.
There's just almost no way to walk through that corridor. The bombs take up the whole corridor. Zillion is zoning you, and you have 2 Blade of the Rune King marksmen working on that Baron, shredding through it. TSM get the Baron buff. They have the lead. 1 inhibitor already down. This is where they are looking to close out the game.
That mid lane inhibitor turret was down to 1 hit earlier. It did have the chance to regenerate a little bit. Bjergsen will be forced to flash away there. Was caught out in the mid lane, but that does mean there's no Cataclysm available here for the Jarvan now. Sven putting down the calling, looking to do some damage to the Doublelift health bar. D-Lift down to about half HP there. Core JJ also had to pop his Locket of the Iron Solari. Brokenblade in bottom lane, trying to pressure onto the tier 3. Impact looking to fight him here, but still not a very close fight, even with the turret advantage. Acadian and the rest of TSM pushing onto the mid lane inhibitor, just waiting to chip
Güzel maçtı bu arada. TSM cidden iyi oynuyor ya, kötü oynamıyor ya.
Will continue applying the damage even if nobody else can get in range. Chains flung out, Doublelift trying to find anything here, but Team Liquid just does not see the opportunity to go in. Remember, even if you do, you still have to get through Zillion ult, you still have to get through Kindred ult, And Team Liquid now stares down the barrel of losing both
Bak
Nexus turrets.
taşıyıcı taplayı nasıl fark ediyor?
Number 1 taking some fire. Super minions marching into the enemy base. Sven and Brokenblade into the bottom lane, looking to make something happen.
Ultiyi de Allah aşkına hiçbir işe yaramıyor
Plague already used. 2 cannon minions firing away at these Nexus turrets. Team Liquid decides to go in. They're looking for Smoothie, but Xmithie's going to be taken down. The stun will guarantee it as Team Liquid has to head for the hills. They'll run away. They'll try to disengage. Impact will hold the line, but for how long?
That'll do it.
This protects him for only a moment as he now has to retreat as well. TSM has only 1 Nexus turret to go, and the Nexus is now exposed. Double will be taken to safety, but this will surely end poorly for Team Liquid. Impact tries to get himself something. The shockwave
Jensen oyun boyunca hiçbir şey yapmadı bu arada.
And TSM will 2-0 Team Liquid in the regular spring split.
Going into playoffs in dominant form, TSM taking down TL.
Bu mesela bu daha iyi. Hani playoff'a gider, mesela sezonu iyi başlayıp playoff'a doğru kötü oynarsan kötü ama şey falan iyi yani. Sezona o kadar iyi başlamadılar ama gitgide iyi oluyorlar ya playoff'ta. Muhtemelen bu split kazanırlar.